This is Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, where powerful kingdoms arose with stories of worth, exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spun. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits, where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History. Pictured here is Ossie Davis, born on this day, December 18th, 1917, in Cogdell, Clinch County, Georgia, United States of America. Rayford Chapman, popularly known as Ossie Davis, was an American film, television, and Broadway actor. He was a director, a poet, playwright, author, and civil rights activist. When Davis wanted to pursue a career in acting, he ran into the usual roadblocks that blacks suffered at the time, as they generally could only portray stereotypical characters such as Step In, Fetch It. Instead, he tried to follow the example of Sidney Poitier and play more distinguished characters. When he found it necessary to play a Pullman porter or a butler, he played those characters realistically, not as a caricature. In addition to acting, Davis, along with Melvin Van Peebles and Gordon Parks, was one of the notable black directors of his generation. He directed movies such as Gordon's War, Black Girl, and Cotton Comes to Harlem. Along with Bill Cosby and Poitier, Davis was one of a handful of black actors able to find commercial success while avoiding stereotypical roles prior to 1970, which also included a significant role in the 1965 movie The Hill alongside Sean Connery, plus roles in The Cardinal and The Scalp Hunters. However, Davis never had tremendous commercial success or critical success that Cosby and Poitier enjoyed. As a playwright, Davis wrote Paul Robeson, All-American, which is frequently performed in theater programs for young audiences. In 1976, Davis appeared in Muhammad Ali's novelty album for children, The Adventures of Ali and His Gang versus Mr. Tooth Decay. Davis found recognition late in his life by working in several of director Spike Lee's films, including Do the Right Thing, Jungle Fever, She Hate Me, and Get on the Bus. He also found work as a commercial voiceover artist and served as the narrator of the early 1990s CBS sitcom Evening Shade, starring Burt Reynolds, where he also played one of the residents of a small southern town. In 1999, Davis appeared as a theater caretaker in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra film The Ghost of Christmas Eve, which was released on DVD 2 years later. For many years, he hosted the annual National Memorial Day concert from Washington, D.C. He voiced Anansi the Spider on the PBS children's television series Sesame Street in its animation segments. Davis's last role was a several episode guest role on the Showtime drama series The L Word, as a father struggling with the acceptance of his daughter, Pete, who is Jennifer Beals, parenting a child with her lesbian partner. In his final episodes, his character was taken ill and died. His wife, Ruby Dee, was present during the filming of his own death scene. That episode, which aired shortly after Davis's own death, aired with a dedication to the actor. After Davis's passing, actor Dennis Hayshirt portrayed him in the 2015 film Experimenter. In the year 1948, Davis married actress Ruby Dee, whom he had met on the set of Robert Ardrey's 1946 play Jeb. In their joint autobiography with Ossie and Ruby, they described their decision to have an open marriage, later changing their minds. In the mid-1960s, they moved to the New York suburb of New Rochelle, where they remained ever after. Their son, Guy Davis, is a blues musician and former actor who appeared in the film Beat Street, which aired in 1984, and the daytime soap opera One Life to Live. Their daughters are Nora Davis Day and Hasna Muhammad. Davis and Dee were well known as civil rights activists during the civil rights movement and were close friends of Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King Jr., and other icons of the era. They were involved in organizing the 1963 Civil Rights March on Washington, D.C. for jobs and freedom, and served as its MCs. Davis, alongside Ahmed Osman, delivered the eulogy at the funeral of Malcolm X. He reread part of this eulogy at the end of Spike Lee's film Malcolm X. He also delivered a stirring tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King at the memorial in New York's Central Park, the day after King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. He and his wife were named to the NAACP, so that is the National Association for Colored People, the NAACP Image Awards Hall of Fame. They were awarded the National Medal of Arts and were recipients of the Kennedy Center Honors. He was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 1994. Thanks for joining us today for today's edition of Today in African History. If you're new to the channel, we talk about Africans in the diaspora, Africans on the African continent, Africans from the United States of America who are called either Black Africans or African Americans, depends on what you want to call us. We're all one, wherever we're found in the world, in Europe, in Asia, in South America, in Australasia, in Australia, we're all Africans. The idea is for us to come together to learn about our history, to know who we are, because we are great people. We have contributed a lot to history. We have contributed a lot to technology. We have contributed a lot to the world. But a lot of these contributions are hidden from us because a lot of us have been fed what I would call Western propaganda about who we really are. We're learning about the history of other people. We're not learning about the history of ourselves. And the history we're learning about other people is to the detriment of our own history. Our history is hidden in Western nations. Our history is also hidden in Africa as well. That's the sad thing. Even on the African continent, our history is hidden. We're learning about the histories of Europe and America, and we're not learning about the histories of our own people and Africans. So it's about time we change that. It's about time we learn that the African Americans who invented things, the Africans on the African continent who invented things, the Africans who are making billions of dollars on the African continent, men and women, boys and girls. We need to reclaim our history as Africans. We need to learn about our history because that's the only way we can forge forward unitedly and take our rightful place. Hold our heads high and proud, not because we want to look down on other races, but because we are who we are. Nothing, no one can stop you and me from achieving the best that we want to achieve in life. Thanks for joining us. If you do like what we're doing here, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel so we can reach more people, more like-minded people. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.